What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the best women's boxing show, period, the Zoom edition. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf, still cold, still a jackass in LA.
Well, look at us. We didn't know what we were wearing today. I was inspired by our last Zoom interview, the beanie, the braid, and I didn't want to do my hair. So I just put this on and yeah.
This is like our gym edition. This is our gym edition.
There you go, Puma. You can like sponsor us. That's from Fighter FTWR. It's Fighter Warrior.
Yes.
Saturdays are for boxing. I was gonna wear that. But I was like, let me change it up and give me some color in my life.
The crazy part about this hoodie, this is an old one. This one is from America's Next Top Model. This is an old one when they were briefly on VH1. They sent me a beanie when I was tweeting about it. I wasn't even doing press then, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
That's a whole other life.
Yes.
All right. Well, Jeandra, there was a lot of things that happened this past weekend. Friday and Saturday, we had some really good fights. I forgot to tell you. So let's go to the Friday fight. That's the fight that Oscar Valdez was supposed to fight on. And so people thought, oh, maybe Navarrete was going to be paired up with this kid from Australia. No one gave him a shot. That was an incredible fight. I don't know what Navarrete's thing is. People were saying he didn't work with a nutritionist because he came in a little pudgy. There were allegations of the scale being changed on the weigh-ins because the Australian kid has never weighed 126 in his life. It's a 130-pound fight. Yeah. So when he said, I weighed in like 2 hours ago, I was 130. Come to fight night, come to the weigh-in, it was 126. So, and you know how Twitter people are, those boxing investigators, they had those videos showing the allegedly the Arizona commissioner was moving the weight, all this crazy stuff. And Navarrete somehow weighed at 130 on the dot.
I don't know. Was the fight cursed? There were a lot of shenanigans, around this fight. So starting with the scale, I missed that one. I remember seeing the tweets that his opponent was 126 pounds. Shout out to all the Australian disruptors out there. Australia is really disrupting a lot of stuff out there. But so 126, way underweight, allegedly. Yeah. And then they get the fight night.
I don't know if you saw if you go back and watch it, when I forgot his name, Liam. I forgot I'm sorry, but the opponent's name, when he looked down at it, he's like you were so shocked. You're like, what just happened?
He probably was thinking, damn, I could have stood here with a hamburger.
Right. He's like, was my poop that big to like But seriously, and then when Navarrete got in, he's just like
130.
He's probably thinking, oh shit, I made weight.
Okay, so was he like 134? I don't know. We'll never know.
These are allegations. So I'm not saying, Jeandra and I are not saying this is exactly what happened, but this is what people are saying. So we're just repeating what allegedly happened. Yeah. That's so, but they did give us a memorable fight. He did drop Navarrete in the and that's another thing. He dropped him in the
shenanigans.
27 seconds he got to recover.
Wow. Yeah, I saw people talk. I'm like, people just talking mess, because I was kind of in and out of watching the fight because I had some other stuff going on. But then I watched the videos and people are putting little timers on the clock in the bottom. And I'm like, they're not wrong. They're not.
It wasn't slow motion. It's a veteran move to spit out the mouthpiece.
Of course.
Always, but not 27 seconds long. It almost reminds me of when Tyson Fury went to heaven and hell when he came back from the dead. It didn't take 27 seconds, but they're counting 1, 2. Are you all right? And he's like, and it was just. But yeah, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to look it up. But they're going to file a complaint that was too long. Honestly, if I was him, I would do the same. I would file a complaint.
Absolutely.
27 seconds is ridiculous. I'm not going to say that he won the fight because Navarrete did come back, but we've never seen Navarrete dropped and got hit, but he came back as a warrior, and I was like, damn, he might upset the apple cart. And I was thinking, we're going to Australia to watch the fight
for sure.
But
oh man, Oscar Valdez's interview during the show was very interesting. How he said, I mean, I'm not disputing, I'm just observing what I saw, and took me back to the great Mike Tyson. I broke my back. My back is broken, spinal. So Oscar said he slipped and fell and broke his back and stepped on a crack, or what happened? He said he hurt his back and that's why he couldn't do the fight?
Something broke his back. I don't know if he fell off a horse, but he's like, I did not get bitten by my alligator. That was the one thing. He's the only person that can say that. I did not get bitten by my pet alligator.
How weird and random,
right?
And that's from like Louisiana. So random. That's
like something Regis Prograis would say, because he wrestles alligators or crocodiles. But we see Oscar in his Instagram. He goes in the pool with him. He walks him. I mean, but he did not get bitten. So it was a spinal injury. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if he fell off his horse or he fell. He did something, but obviously he wasn't in the fight. So now, and I think he was probably wondering, he's like, oh shit, is this kid gonna win? Or like, he wanted that Mexican war against Navarrete, but it's fine now. That fight is set unless something happens with the commission gods and the boxing gods, and we'll see. Yeah, I wouldn't mind them running it back. Honestly, I don't care.
For sure. We'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure.
And then the following day was the female card. It wasn't an all-female card. It was a female-driven card with some males, but the women were the ones that took the spotlight. Let's start with Skye Nicholson from Australia.
Australian disruptive, but I wouldn't even call her fight disruptive. Honestly, with all due respect, it was a little bit of a snoozer. I was expecting a little bit more action and dominance, but her opponent choice was weak. I mean, I don't understand what was going on with that fight.
I was a little upset. I wasn't upset at Skye. I mean, I was like, jab. That's all I cared for, because I think she's a really great fighter. She's going to be a world champion one day. But the fight that she fought, this lady, was for the WBC silver. So she would be eventually, she's mandatory for Amanda Serrano. So based off of that fight alone, I didn't think that it showed any of what Skye is capable of, besides holding this girl off, because this girl would just run into anything. The opponent would run into any of Skye's punches that she threw, and she had no balance. It was just, I mean, I went off. I went off on the WBC. I was like, how is this girl the opponent for a silver title? Like, there had to be someone else. But no knock on Skye. It was just, sadly, it was the opponent choice. But she's, a lot of people gave her some shit that she didn't jab enough, or she clinched enough. But I get it. The opponent was not very good.
Very awkward, you can only fight with what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she worked with what she had, and she got she pulled out her victory. And sometimes the fights are not going to be sexy and beautiful. It makes me think of the time when Keith Thurman fought Leonard Bundu, when he fought in that fight. And that's when Keith Thurman was still a killer, and he was knocking people out. And then he got into that Bundu fight, and it was so weird. It was so awkward. And, styles make fights, and those styles just didn't go together.
Did not make fight. And then you have Ramla Ali. She had, I think she got the IBF regional. It was a regional belt. But sad to hear that she fought with pneumonia and a collapsed lung. So, I was looking at her, and I love the way Ramla fights, especially with Manny Diaz. Is it Manny Diaz?
Manny Robles.
I'm gonna have to edit that. Especially with Manny Robles in her corner, you could see how much she's changed in her fighting style since they've teamed up together. But I felt something was a little off. But we don't know. We never know what's going on with the fighter. And then today she came out and said that she had to finally get on the correct meds did my thing. Oh, she finally got on the correct medicines of what she was dealing with. So my God, I hope you are in better health, Ramos. So take care of yourself because we want to see you back in the gym.
For sure. I just had
Yeah.
a little head cold last week and it nearly folded me up like an Adirondack chair because it was literally a non-COVID head cold and I was hurting. I was down bad. And this woman is fighting with a collapsed lung. You need your lungs to breathe, especially
Yeah.
when you're fighting. And pneumonia, kudos to her. I echo what you say about her work with Manny Robles. You can see the progression. She looked great. I mean, just technically looked very sound and kudos to her.
Yeah, she sits in her punches. She gets all that power from her legs. You know, it reminded me when she said that, it's kind of weird. Teofimo had the same, almost the same issue, a collapsed lung in the garden, in the Hulu Theater. So maybe it's New York. I don't know.
Right. Fight somewhere warm, y'all. Come back this way. We would like that very much.
Come back to Vegas.
Vegas, LA,
yeah.
any of those. We'd love it.
Yeah. Not Texas. That keep going
No.
west.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right. And then we had one of the biggest co-main events because there were two undisputed fights, Alicia Baumgartner versus McKellid. There you go, McKellid. A lot of people said, I think, was since Choi, okay, that's a whole other story. Choi was on a reality show called Physical that Michaela Mayer outed her. So we're going to get back to that. But McKellid was up for, she's the champion, the next one in line, basically. So that's how Alicia became the undisputed. But she really got tested in this one. She was gassed. I think maybe because she outpunched herself in several rounds. But she did damage to McKellid, and this girl kept coming back. She is a warrior. Holy bananas. What do you think of that fight, Jay?
Alicia was putting the paws on her. I mean, she was hurting that girl bad, but in a testament to the opponent across the ring, again, style makes fight. Some people are just tough and have to be saved from their own toughness and their own bravery. Alicia showed another level to her game that she can switch in. She's ready to sit in this championship role, but her opponent was not to be toiled with. And I respect it. You know, this is a fight for undisputed. She didn't come to lay down. And I think that just gave us another opportunity to see the champ, what she's like under adversity. And she didn't fold, you know, folks who are clamoring for a rematch. Happily to say Michaela, you know, said that she gasses out, you know, in the fight. But I mean, that was a tough war. I don't know, you know, when you're of that level of fitness like Alicia is, I mean, she lives it and breathes it in the same way of a Manny, Floyd, Bernard Hopkins, these people who really live the life and stay in shape. Cynthia, you are far more in the gym than I will ever be. So what can you say about just cardio in general? When you see someone of that level of fitness getting a little tired in the course of a fight?
It is exhausting. I mean, I am nowhere near what Alicia looks like by far, but I wish. But it's just when you're punching, imagine if you're just punching 30 seconds straight and you're being hit. So it exerts so much energy and you're on your feet. You're trying to think. So there's so much going on that you don't even realize that and you have to breathe. You're like trying to breathe, not get hit. It is very, very difficult. And those are 2-minute rounds. Oh, I slipped up there. 2-minute rounds. Your legs go out. They feel like jello. And that's for people that are not in shape. So imagine that they're doing this 10 rounds. And yeah, so when people said, oh my God, she gave away a round, and Tony Harrison he's like, you can't give away a round because you got to show that you are busy. But sometimes you got to take a round off. You're just like, I can't move. Like I need to breathe. And, but it is really, really tough. That's why conditioning is very, very, very important. When they say get your miles in, they literally mean get your ass out there and run your miles, skip rope, learn how to breathe. Like really, when they say meditate, because it helps you breathe. I mean, it's not just go box and punch things. It's a whole science behind it. So kudos to them both. McKellid, I want to see her back in the ring. I mean, she is a problem in the division. I think with Michaela Mayer watching her and anyone else, they'd be like, oh, even Hamadouche tweeted out at Alicia saying, I want to be next. And Hamadouche, we saw how she gave the fight to Alicia. It was a really, really tough fight, but Alicia pulled it out, against Michaela, but Michaela pulled it off in the end. So that's a really fun, tough division. But now Alicia doesn't really, I'm a little confused. Does she want the rematch? Or does she want Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Chantel Cameron? Chantel Cameron, she would have to move up 2 divisions. But that's chasing greatness.
That's chasing greatness. And I think that she and Michaela have so much genuine animus for each other that she's just like, you got to wait till I'm ready. So I think they both want the rematch. They talk to each other all day long. They might as well just go get their nails done together. They talk to each other.
God, right?
They probably talk to each other as much as we talk to each other. And we talk all day long, just in a different way, because we love each other. So I don't know. They're going to fight. It's going to happen. And when it does, right now, this is to me the right level of letting it marinate, They just got to get that belt off the belt's off of Choi now, right?
Also, but she can fight Choi because she's a champion in
recess.
But I'm going to look up this physical because Michaela Mayer was like, I'm watching on Netflix, and all of a sudden I'm watching this reality show, and I see Choi. I thought she's too injured. I'm like, physical is like boot camp for shit that you can't. You're out in the wilderness and you're doing like military grade stuff. So
I love that Michaela found that. I love that she found that.
WBO, you got some explaining to do. Choi, you got some explaining to do.
Big time. And shout out to Michaela for finding that, because I'm just you at home, you chilling, got your little snack. Hey, you want to watch? Hey, baby, you want to watch some Netflix? Okay, cool. What's this show? Boop. You're an athlete, so of course you're going to watch anything athletic, and boom. Oh, hell no. I'm trying to fight this bride, and she's out here climbing up mountains and shit because she's too injured to fight. Shout out to Michaela for tipping it off.
How did Eddie Hearn not know this as a promoter? Unless it's, there's my baby. Unless there was a ton of money on the line. I don't know. But Choi she's gonna do Choi things. I mean, I didn't think it could get any better, but it's like seriously a soap opera. Just
it is.
It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Where's Choi?
The women got it going on across the board. Best storylines, terrific matchups, bloody wars. I mean, like we got it all. I'm still standing by my 5-year thing. Now we're in 2033, so 4 years. It might not even take 4 years. Women is taking all this shit over, taking it over.
Yeah, you saw, and then we saw Amanda Serrano, Erica Cruz. Oh my God!
Wow, what a war!
The girl, she didn't have a cut, man. Obviously, clearly, thing was just like spewing out blood.
It was just,
and sadly, it was because of a headbutt. It wasn't even because of a punch. It was a headbutt, but these two warriors just kept going. It had based off of CompuBox numbers, it was the highest number of punches between any two females.
Wow,
like over 1,000 punches. It was crazy. The jabs, the power punches, it was just insane. But I guess people didn't know Erica Cruz. And I remember seeing her on the Ring USA fights where she took the belt off of Jelena. And this girl, she just is like a robot. She just did not stop. Every time she got hurt, blood, I mean, it was nasty, bloody, but it was a really good fight, and Amanda did really, really well. Oof.
Good stuff. And now we finally get the announcement of the Katie Taylor rematch, where it's going to be. They're trying to do it in Ireland. Conor McGregor says he got the money if they got to pay for extra security. I mean, I want to go to Ireland. I don't think we'll get a credential for that. And I don't have no Ireland money, but I would go. I would go for sure.
Right?
Anybody wants to sponsor us? I'm into that.
Yeah, because I remember when Eddie said, "Oh yeah, Croker Park is off the table because it's just too expensive," and then all of a sudden, we'll put the tweet in there. Conor McGregor says, what is it? You know, is it the security? Is it this? Is it that? It's like over 100,000. And he's like, I'll sponsor it. That's easy.
I know that's right. You gotta put that proper whiskey logo on it and get it cracking.
Right. So I was just like, you know what? And why not? It is a fellow Irishman. It is a fellow champion and warrior in Ireland. So this is when they all unite. But if this happens, OMG, OMFG is the acronym here. That would be a great fight. And I want to see what Amanda will come out with. I don't know if it could be too soon for a rematch, because that trailer right after the fight, gave me the chills. But I did kind of feel bad that, you know, Erica Cruz is standing in the ring, or she's like, it's like, okay, dude, you just lost. And now this whole thing, it's like, they kind of already prepared it. What if, like, God forbid, what if Erica Cruz won and pulled out the fight? Were they going to put a trailer out with Katie Taylor or somebody, or a rematch? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think Katie, I saw Katie in the background watching this bloody war. She's like, but you know, sometimes Katie doesn't give any kind of reaction to anything. She's probably thinking, oh, this is a lot bloodier than my fight with her. Like, you know, I don't know.
Well, kudos to them. Again, another example, best fight in the best. We love that. We love that for women's boxing. We love it for Amanda. We love it for Katie. The first fight was super memorable. And this next fight could be calling all Irish people. It's all hands on deck. Conor McGregor, Becky Lynch from WWE, and Finn Balor. Like, come on, Irish people. Irish people, stand up. It's all hands on deck to make this a memorable event. And if you want to kick us some money, we have a Zelle and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we could send you all our deets. And then our last thing that we have got to talk about is the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis, or Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. It's almost over the line, but the problem is, and Oscar De La Hoya has been very vocal about it, is that we've given Tank and Showtime everything. But if Ryan wins, we deserve the rematch. We deserve DAZN and Golden Boy to put on the fight, have the promotional rights. I think maybe that's fair. If, you know, I always think if it's the winner, he brings his own crowd. He is a celebrity in his own right. Besides in boxing, he's an influencer. He's brought his own deals. I mean, shit, he's got some big deals. I mean, he's a millionaire, not just because of boxing, it's because of what he does on the phone.
Exactly.
And Tank Davis has a whole other crowd. So do you think that they can all kiss and make up and make this all happen? Because everyone's just being stingy all freaking around.
I agree with you that they're being stingy. I mean, hell, why not? You know, it's a rematch. You know, some of the argument that I've seen is that, oh, well, you know, the Tank side needs to control the rematch because they've got the bigger resources. But if they have an epic fight in the first fight, let's just say Tank loses, Ryan, they want to control, all that energy is going to shift over to that side so they can still have the same level of resources. If they put it on DAZN, they could do something different. DAZN could, I mean, there's just a lot of possibility. You know, maybe the money is coming from a different place, you know, different subscribers, a worldwide audience. I mean, shit, why not? Just get the fight over the line. Let them fight. Like, come on. We're splitting hairs at this point.
It's so political, and it's just, and you know, Golden Boy and DAZN have a partnership. So why not? At Showtime, I don't know where it's going to be on Showtime. If it's a pay-per-view, if it's on Paramount Plus, I don't know, because all this drama with the Showtime. So we don't know. But all I know is that people are going to pay for this fight.
Mm-hmm. All they need to do, look, agree to what y'all want to make in a rematch. I make it sound so simple. What do you want to make in a rematch? Put the money in escrow. Like, you know, just say, look, if you don't get what you think you're supposed to get, sue me and make it happen. You know, they can go, you know, Oscar still got a lot of skin in the game in these streets. The names of Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis has a lot of skin in these streets. They can find, maybe the money is not on pay-per-view. Money's still going to come in off the gate. Gates still be bomb. You know, DAZN still has the ability to run commercials. Just because they're a streaming platform doesn't mean they can't run commercials. You know, there is ways to make the money. It's just not going to be made in the same way that it would with the PBC side taking the lead and it being on, pay-per-view. You know, you have to work with a streaming service. But I mean, come on, don't let a great fight get derailed by this. Y'all, don't do this to us. Stop doing
I know. God.
It's
So,
stupid.
I mean, for selfish reasons, I don't care for it to be on April 15th. So if it doesn't happen, oh well. My son's birthday, okay? Don't hate me. My son's second birthday. But if it happens, it happens. And then real fast, we're gonna touch on it. Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, or David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. I'm being Switzerland here. You went to the presser. I saw online their fight is selling out. That is good. And it's this early.
It's anticipated. These two hate each other.
What did you take away from that when you were live there? Because I saw it all on TV. What was your takeaway from both, besides reading off of a phone, talking shit? But that's the first. What was your takeaway?
It was on from the minute it was on site. I mean, the minute I got there, what's his name? Ryo and his team was fighting with somebody. Are you even on this card? They mixing it up in the crowd. They get out there. The teams come by. They was fighting outside the arena before the shit even started. These twos are ready to get it on site. David must have had a lot on his mind, and he was like, look, I'm gonna put it on my phone. It'd be like that sometime. Caleb kept his hands in his whole pocket. Him and Brett and Coach Wade, they were just.
What I loved about when David was talking his shit, Caleb was just sitting there like looking down, looking at his phone, like like it was.
Caleb ain't worried about that. Caleb's like, I got a little baby in the house, and I'm used to just hearing a lot of shit probably at any given time. But I'm just glad they made it. These two want to hurt each other bad, and we love that. We love that as boxing fans.
Yep, and we're going to be back in the studio, and we're going to be talking more about Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. But for now, we're going to have to take a break because we're going to bring in our special guest for today. Woo! All right, we'll be right back. And we are back, and we've got a great guest. When we're talking about the heat, this girl is bringing the heat, literally. Miss Heather Harding, welcome to our show, Best Women's Boxing Show. Period.
Thanks for having me, girls.
It is our pleasure. We are happy to be with you. And you can't have the discussion of women's boxing without talking to Heather the Heat Hardy, pioneer, trendsetter, champion, trailblazer. Women's boxing continues to grow, and as a trailblazer in the sport, how are you feeling before we get into talking about your card?
Gosh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud, and it's what drove me to come back, right? Like watching all these girls succeed and be in the spotlight. I don't think that I could have been more proud than Saturday night watching that lineup. The both girls headlining, but they're it wasn't an all-female show, right? It was just a boxing show. There were guys, there were champions, there were great fights, and some of them just happened to be women making money, becoming, undisputed champions. I was just really, really proud.
When you just said it was a boxing show, think about that. That show was headlined by two females, two undisputed bouts, which were the best bouts on the card. Yeah. I mean, the men, no, I'm not knocking you guys, but the women really brought it. We're talking blood. There was a lot of blood that night.
Sure. And I mean, it just speaks volumes. It's not really like, that the women were better than the men, but the women were better than the men. And that's why the women headlined, right? Because so often we saw female fights that were better than the male fights without getting the recognition, buried on undercards before, pre-TV and pre-stream, like just gone unnoticed. So it's really nice to finally see the girls come up top.
For sure. Well deserving. And as with you, as you mentioned, you said this motivated you to come back, and now you're headlining. This is your second card headlining for Boxing Insider at yes. Sony Hall.
Yes.
With the comeback with this, what is your role? You're fighting on the card, obviously, but you are a face, you are a name, and you put asses in seats. anytime you are in the ring. So what is your role or responsibility for the card in addition to fighting on it?
Well, clearly, like part of my purse requirement is selling tickets. It goes with any kind of local show. It's been the story of my, career, that the reason why I get so many opportunities is because I'm a hustler and I sell tickets. So it is, my responsibility to make sure I put people in the seats. But outside of that, I'm looking to go in there and put on a show. Larry had contacted me to say that he would be using the show to kind of put a spotlight on my trainer Hector and my papa, and because he had passed away, and I just thought, like, I have to fight on it, like I have to do it for him. So
it's when that happened, oh my God, I'm gonna cry because a lot of people don't know this. When I trained over at Gleason's, I used to live in New York. Hector, your papa, your mentor, your late trainer, he was the one that got me in sparring, because I trained with Martin, your new trainer. I mean,
yes.
He's been around forever. And I remember Hector's like, have you ever sparred? I was like, what? No, I just hit pads. I'm not here to get hit. And he put me in there like, didn't know what the fuck was I doing. It was so flipping hard. But he sat there and he like talked me through it. And he just like kept telling me to go, go, go. Cause he'd always see me in the gym anyways, training. He's like, well, let's just throw you to the wolves. And he got me to spar a couple times. And he was just like, it was just, the little things. And then I ended up moving away from New York. But those were like just the little things I remember in the gym, that he always gave me encouragement. I wasn't even there to fight. I was just there to get in shape and just, be a badass. But that was it. But when all this happened, it made me sad. And the article that New York Fights wrote about you, what he said to you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
It was almost like, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was almost like the last year of his life. Like, now that I look back on it, not just the last month in the hospital, but the last year, he was really preparing me to be okay without him, not just in boxing, but in life. The people he was steering me towards and steering me away from, people he had me remove from my life, and people he made me add to my life. I mean, he just did so much for me. And I can only look at it now in hindsight.
Mm-hmm. What do you call this stage in your career? Because you literally have nothing to prove to anyone. You have trailblazed, you have sat up top, you have championed, you've been bloody. So what do you have a title for what you call this?
This is the last chapter. I really thought about hanging up the gloves and being done with it. And it was Henry De Leon who brought me back in the gym prior to my last fight, it was about a year ago in February, actually, and had me training and, just come for a run or try to fall in love. And he made me fall in love with it again. And that's what had me ask Hector to take over my boxing career last year. And I just felt like, you could write a book about my life, right?
I hope they do.
I didn't like the last chapter. I lost, and so this is my last chapter. I would like to end on a high note. And, I know it's premature because I have this fight coming up, but I took my last fight on Larry's show and I said, this is going to tell me if I still want to do this. Right. And, again, I'm fighting on this show because it's for Papa and in honor of Roca. But 126, 130, 135, I want to go one more world title shot after this.
Mm-hmm. Anything is possible. Anything is possible because you have a different drive. You have a different intention of why you're back in the ring. It's not just to fight. It's, you're fighting for certain things in your life. What do you want to prove? Is there, when you leave it, when it's all said and done, when you hang up those gloves, what is the one thing that you're looking to prove now?
Well, it's not really that I have to prove. It's like you said, like I've done everything, right? No one is going to question my heart, my drive, my balls, any of that, because I've done it. I've fought the best. I've fought in 2 sports. I've, through the bloody nose and the broken nose and the hole in my face, like everyone knows what I'm made of. So this isn't so much to prove, but it's what I want. Like, I still want to do this. I still have a drive to do this. I still wake up every day and I go to the gym and I do 4 miles of diet and, you can only do that if you really love it. And I still have fight in me. So, you know, the few things Rocha had said, I don't know which one you're referring to, but 2 days before he died, I was watching golf with him on his bed in the hospital. And he said, everybody thinks you passed your prime, but I promise you, you didn't hit it yet. You didn't hit it yet. 2023, this is your year. And I feel like every morning he wakes me up with that drive to run to the gym. Even 40 years old, I still feel like I can do this.
You don't look 40, girl. You look good.
No, you look amazing.
I don't act it either. I promise you.
No, you are a badass. And, you know, I think I watched so many of your wonderful performances over the year. And I look at how women's boxing is in the place where, you know, you have the Jake Pauls, and it's no diss. I'm glad he's putting women on and putting women in a place where they can make money. But he is like the shiny new thing. And you and Lou DiBella have been doing this for a while. Y'all been doing it for a while. Do you feel like other fighters respect you? For sure. Women fighters and male fighters alike respect Heather Hardy. But do you think the industry respects the trail that you blaze that has made room for somebody like a Jake Paul or even Eddie Hearn to that regard? Because they're taking a lot of credit for women's boxing.
You know, I don't feel no shade about that. My mama taught me don't never knock nobody's hustle. And they out there making money, making noise, making opportunities. And I can benefit off of what they're doing. They don't have to respect me, very much in the same way that when we speak about me being a trailblazer, it's almost neglecting the, you know, Alicia Ashley's and Belinda Lara Quinte's and Melissa Hernandez's who blazed that trail for me to be able to step up. So women, since, you know, the 90s, it was the 90s, 1990s, before women were allowed to box in the Golden Gloves, before we could fight in the Nationals. So it was those girls. We're standing on all of our shoulders. And I'm not even the one who started, right? Like, I'm in the middle of doing the first girl to box at the Barclays, the first girl to get a long-term contract. But there were so many before me that got so much less and even less recognition than I was able to do. I feel so lucky and grateful and blessed that at my big age, one, I can still do this, and I can maybe make some money, maybe get that 6-figure paycheck that I fought my ass off for, right? Like, I win this fight in 2 weeks. I have something to bring to the table. And it's exactly what you just said. Like, you know what? Come on. I might not be in the rankings way up there because I've been out of the game for so long, but my resume tells me I deserve a world title shot. 126, 130, 135. Whoever will give it to me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a former world champion, and those weight classes are on fire right now.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, the women go up and down in weight. Look at, obviously, Amanda Serrano, 7 divisions. People are going up. Terry Harper and Natasha
Jonas. I could do that 154 shit though.
That might be a little big for you, Heather.
No, I think 135 is like a cap out for me. I hit 154, I'm fat ass.
Yeah, no, that yeah, that's way outside of your weight range. But the beauty of it is you don't have to. Like Cynthia just said, those 3 divisions are hot, and there's a lot of intermingling in there. You know, who you like? Who do you think is reigning supreme? You know, Katie Taylor is the top of things, but you know, who is Heather watching and going?
I never made it a habit to watch anybody. It's like my mom said, like, you know, you don't knock nobody's hustle. Don't keep your nose in nobody else's business. Worry about yourself. And I got a kid in college. I'm paying college tuition and shit. Like, I'm just trying to make ends meet myself. So when I look at these girls, these undisputed champions at 126, Amanda, 130, Alicia, 135, Katie, these are girls who fought the best, right? Like, all 3 of them girls will fight anybody. So I know it's really just a matter of politics if Eddie will give me a shot and let me try to make some money off of it. You know what I mean? So I'm not looking at any one, because it's all just opportunity for me. Opportunity I never had. Like, I fought Amanda. I made $80,000 was my biggest paycheck to fight, you know, and I just was outside that window where the girls was making money.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I deserve a shot. I deserve a check. I deserve one.
just on the asses and seats alone.
Yeah.
Yep. Because a lot of fighters don't believe that, oh, if my promoter is my promoter, they're the ones going to be selling. But the fighters don't understand. You have to bring your own crowd. You got to put those asses in seats. And every time people say, who's a fighter that sells? It's always, your name is always at the top. Always at the top.
Yeah, my city. I got my city behind me. Brooklyn, New York. They all stand up for me every time. So,
take us inside. Since this is your second fight on fighting at Sony Hall, take us behind the scenes of what that vibe is like for the card. The first one sold out, did very, very well. Now this one's on the road to selling out again. Fantastic crowd, fantastic vibe. Take us behind the scenes of what those fight nights are like.
It's really dope because it's been so long since I'm fighting in small club shows. You know, I did Roseland, I did BB King's. So that small, intimate, like there's my locker room. I had gotten so spoiled at Mohegan Sun, Barclays, you know, MSG and with the spotlights and stuff in the locker room. And we had a bathtub. It was like the whole bathroom in the back. And I was like, you know, Papa and Henry like put all the pillows in the tub so I could chill out and relax. But it's real small and intimate. And you walk through that little crowd, you know, and it's like I tell everybody who's buying tickets from me, like, you're gonna feel my sweat after I punch. Like, that's how close you're gonna be to the ring. And it's nice for my fans to get a kind of comeback, to be able to be right on top of me, on top of the ring, to be able to see, and not like in the nosebleed seats at, you know, the Garden catching me fight. So I'm happy to be back in New York City.
With your trainer change now, Martin is a great trainer in his own right.
I love him.
How are you able to put both of what Hector and what Martin has are teaching you? Are you able to fuck, I forgot the word. Adapt. There you go.
Adapt. Yeah, like Martin and Hector work side by side, and their offices are next to each other at the gym. And when Hector passed, I took over his office. So now it's like we're all together, and I'm actually, it was the day before he died. He called Martin to the hospital, and he had surgery scheduled for the day he passed away. And the day before he died, he was really nervous about the surgery, and he called Martin to the hospital, and he said, Heather's going to fight in February, and I need you to take care of her. And Martin was like, Papa, what are you talking about? Like, you're going for surgery tomorrow. You'll be fine. And he said, no, like, just, you know, I need to know that Henry knows how to take care of her as a pro fighter. So I need you to mentor Henry, and I need you to look over Heather. And Martin took that to heart, because every day he is on my ass. He is, you can't not, he's an Olympian, you know, you can't not respect everything he says, but the transition has been like this. Like, I just kind of came over there, and Martin comes with a stable of male fighters who have all been giving me work. His son, Ariel Lopez, like, these are guys with, you know, almost 20 pro fights each that are going in there banging with me. So it's easier to fight the girls. It's a totally different look, totally different camp. But like I said today to the boys, I hugged them goodbye. We always hug goodbye. I said, I'm so happy with this team. I love my team right now. Sparring with some girl from another gym, and I got 8 guys standing on the ring screaming, "Hey, I get over here, right?" And it feels like home, like family.
Oh, that's beautiful.
With the addition of Henry to your team, I know Henry from my time at Boxing Insider. You know, he's youthful and a different energy. When you have a younger person joining a team, what is the energy and the insight that
Henry is 30 years old, but he is the oldest man I've ever met. He is such an old head, for real. Like, you know, I want to say like 2 weeks ago was Roca's service. So like, I was drinking wine, like, just, you know, like, kind of get through the night. And Martin is telling me, it's okay, baby, we got a month, you're fine. And Henry's like, I can't believe you're doing this. How could you throw all your traps? Like, oh, so annoying. But we share an office together. So he's like the really, really annoying little brother, you know? Yeah, he does not bring a youthful energy at all.
That's so funny. You know, I wanna talk about the Amanda fight, and I don't know if you were physically there, but I know you watched it, obviously.
Sure.
But when you're watching Amanda and Cruz, which was, a lot of people didn't know who Erica Cruz was, but apparently now they do. I mean, she's a come forward Mexican style fighter. Did you go into that fight thinking this is a 50-50 fight since you've been in the ring with Amanda before?
No, I didn't think it was a 50-50 fight. I think being in the ring with Amanda and having sparred her for so long, like in the beginning of my boxing career, Jordan would let me come to Gym X and spar with them. And just knowing what she's made of, you know, like didn't think for a second that anyone at 126 was going to come out on top with her.
Mm-hmm. Now, the rematch is set. We're going to have to ask you about some predictions, obviously, but the rematch is finally set with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Apparently, it's in Ireland. We're not exactly sure. When you saw the first fight, who did you think who won? And then who do you think has it in the bag for the rematch?
I think that I'm going to be the politician here because as a fighter, you can't watch it on TV and think you know who won. You know what I'm saying? You can, as a person who's been in the ring before and fought and listened to judges and listened to, you know, fan commentary, people's opinion on what they see is not what you feel. So would never say, I thought this person won or I thought this person should have won. I thought it was an epic fight. And it was one of those ones where you saw what you wanted to see, right? You would be watching the girl that you wanted to win and take all of the positive and negative, but only from that viewpoint. So, of course, at a close fight, Amanda's fans thought she won. Katie's fans thought she won. Then to the day, women's boxing won because we've seen a lot more main events come from females. First 7-figure paycheck for girls. You know, it opened a lot of doors and showed little girls that there's not a glass ceiling there anymore. Like they shouted that. They showed little girls that you can do this.
And by the same token, you have the first, we'll call it the first Alicia Michaela fight. You know, Alicia won the fight. They keep talking back and forth in Twitter. I'm into it. I love the trash talk. It's not a tea party. What do you think? Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So with that fight, what do you think Michaela could have done differently? What do you think Alicia could have done differently? Not choosing a win or loss. Alicia was victorious, but with just analysis of how that matchup looked.
You know, I'm not one to say who coulda, shoulda, woulda. Again, I'm gonna be real political because I hate when people do that shit to me. It's like, yeah, from the outside, you feel like you should have did this, but you ain't getting hit. You know, I wasn't getting hit by either one of them girls. So for me to say that one of them should have done something to win, like you don't know what's going on. And the other piece, the real that we don't really talk about is not every day is Christmas. Not every day you're 100%. You want to be, but you're not. So you really don't know the shit that's going on inside someone's head, inside someone's body, inside the ring, you know, things like that. Like at the end of the day, it's the same story. It was a great fight and everybody wants to see it again, especially when you get a split decision like that. So, you know, they doing the right thing and making their bread. They're making paper. They're going to run it back and make more money. You know, that's like, who loses there?
Nobody. And it's funny because when you said that, I just read on Instagram, Ramla Ali, you know, people were saying she should have been able to take her out, but apparently she had pneumonia. She was on some kind of, a collapsed lung. And so we don't know, God forbid, if she got hit a certain way, she could have anything, God forbid anything happened. Yeah. And I'm glad. And even with Sky Nicholson, I mean, apparently I kept thinking, why doesn't she just jab more? I mean, everyone said that, but the girl was so awkward and just, she was doing a lot of weird things that, you know, it was just a different type of fighter. But, you know, we're just the outsiders looking in. We're not the ones getting hit in the face. But, thank God. But yeah, I think just for you to be in the running again, because we never know where you're going to end up, Heather. I never thought we would be interviewing you again, because I've interviewed you for Ring TV several times, and now we're interviewing once again for Best Women's Boxing Show, period.
Yes.
And you're doing it for a different reason. It's called Disruption. It's specifically named Disruption because of you, and this card was headlined because of you. So we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks,
do you have
girls.
any final thoughts, anything you want to say to your fans, or to tune in February 23rd or get some tickets at Sony Hall on Ticketmaster?
Yeah, we have still, the show hasn't sold out yet. We still have tickets available. Like I said, this is going to be like, I'm going for the world title after this one. I'm chasing greatness after this one. So you want to come see me in a nice little tight, intimate, touch gloves kind of setting, come see me on the 23rd.
I love it. I love it. I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
you.
Congratulations to, Boxing Insiders, very dear to me.
Yes,
It's the home team, full disclosure. Well, anybody follows me knows that. But I'm very excited for you all. I wish you guys a magnificent card. Congratulations again to Larry. I love Larry to death. And to Lou, and just thank you again for your time, champ. And I'm ready to see you chase greatness. I'm ready.
It's time. It's time. We're going to do it. 40 plus. Here it goes.
Yeah, it's all right.
Come on, over 40. Yes.
40 plus and a mom. That's even
with
better.
A kid in college like me. I too am over 40 with a kid in college.
Who is on the honor society. This mom been doing it, bro.
That's awesome.
Been doing it.
Congratulations.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Heather. We appreciate it.
All right, girls.
All right. Thanks, Heather. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our Run It Back. I hope you guys enjoyed our interview with Heather, the Heat Hardy. She's chasing greatness. Jay, I can't wait to see her back in the ring. What a lovely lady.
She's a lovely lady. I'm excited. I mean, she really is in a position to disrupt some things too. She's a factor 126, 130, 135. She's still there. She's still wanted. She's not overlooking her opponent, Tayanna, but she's ready. She's trying to get back in it. And I'm here for all the smoke.
Oh yeah. I love it when she's like, I love getting up at 40 years old plus to go run 4 miles. Wow. That's awesome.
Shout out to the over 40 nation. We out here.
We are out here. All right. So make sure you guys tune into all our episodes on the Best Women's Boxing Show, YouTube. Our TikTok is on fire. Support all of our channels. Yeah, Jeandra's taking care of the TikTok because I still don't know what to do. And I still don't know. And tell us what you think about all the topics that we've talked about on Run It Back, because they are, it's in Twitterverse and people are talking mad shit. So we'd love to hear it. All right, guys, I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
We're tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.